Oh, hey friends, welcome to the vibes.
That was so good. In the first up in the honorable mentions, Willow. We talked about Willow a
Mm.
few weeks back. And that album, which I later learned was I was not understanding the title of the album. We kind of went in on it, you know what I mean?
Oh
Thinking
yeah, we did.
but
Yeah.
turns out it's already a thing. You know
Mm.
what I mean? In terms of and pathogen was already
Pathogen.
a thing. I thought it was like a made up word, but it wasn't.
Mm.
I found that out afterwards. But thanks to editing, you already know that part, right?
Yeah.
All right. So Willow Smith has
Yeah.
been working steadily as a musician for well over a decade at this point. In her years in the spotlight, the singer songwriter has tried her hand at many genres, which I mentioned, right? Many genres and styles, and she's experienced a somewhat mixed reception when it comes to commercial performance. And like I said, though, this last album was um, really her finding her identity and having a consistent lane that she's swimming in.
Mm.
This week, we learned that Smith's latest album has become a win in some very unexpected charts. At the same time, it's also a bit of a disappointment as the title didn't manage to perform quite as well as some of her past works on other more closely watched tallies. Now, those other ones were mostly singles that kind of like, top some charts, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Some singles and stuff. But in terms of like a full body of work, she hasn't had this much acclaim. Smith's new project, In Pathogen, debuts in a pair of Billboard rankings this week. Now, so this was kind of wild to me when they summarized it like this because that's not how I thought about it, but like it expanded my vision of contemporary jazz album because she debuted at number one in the contemporary jazz album charts, um, which ranks, as its title suggests, the top consumed jazz full lengths from the contemporary era. And
Contemporary
granted, this
jazz.
this this album was a little bit eclectic, in its performance. I don't know if I would have categorized it as jazz.
Mm.
Maybe some adult contemporary soul jazz, but like, it's neo jazz. I think we've covered some albums before. It was like neo jazz kind of thing. It was like, okay,
That's a thing
I
now.
could see the
Neo
pop.
jazz.
It's not a specific categorized chart that you would see in the Grammys or Billboards or something
Mm.
like that,
Mm.
but like music critics, identify it as like a sort of like, oh, this is like, a newish kind of take on what jazz music would be like for this generation.
Okay.
The same title also arrives close to the summit on the similar but different jazz album charts, right? So there's jazz albums is generally in a different chart, but like it's I think it's on that ranking, Smith's and Pathogen opens at number three, earning the highest ranking start of the frame. Her latest project comes in behind only uh Laffy and Frank Sinatra, two of the biggest names in the field.
Mm.
So in terms of opening. So shout out to Willow. Like I was saying, man, it's a good album. Like if you hear it here on Challenge Day, you should go check it out. We have a track record. All right. The critics are kind of in line with the things, like not that they check in with us, but they probably should. You know what I mean? We could save them
They
some
probably
time, we could
should.
save them some homework. You know what I
Mm.
mean? So that's Willow. All right, that's honorable mention. Give that album another listen. Another honorable mention, this more like a dishonorable mention. Apple Music came out with a top 100. Is it the top 100 albums of all time,
I
or
think. I think. I think that's what the list is. Yeah. It's
it's
just
there's so
their
much.
selection apparently.
This thing deserves a whole show in and of itself,
Mm.
especially for what they're lacking. Me, I'm gonna come from this angle for what they're lacking.
Mm.
Um, but I'm but let's focus in on the top 10. I have a big problem with this list. What they're lacking is going top 10. Top 10, number 10 is Lemonade. Number 9, Nirvana. Back to Black is Amy Winehouse. Good Kid, Mad City, which may not even be Kendrick's best album. It's a great album, but like, okay, that's number 7. Songs in the Key of Life, Stevie Wonder. Okay, I can see that being top 10. Blonde, Frank Ocean. Oh Lord. Okay, Purple Rain, Prince should belong on the Abbey Road, the Beatles. Thriller, Michael Jackson, and number 1, Lauryn Hill's Miseducation, Lauryn Hill.
I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with Lauryn Hill, number 1.
You know you what? Okay, that is my biggest gripe.
I don't have a
that's probably my biggest gripe. I'm sorry. Okay. Lauryn Hill's Miseducation, Lauryn Hill is a great album. It does belong top 10. It does not beat Thriller. It does not beat Thriller. All right. And I'm not even saying Thriller should be number 1. I'm saying wherever Thriller is, Miseducation, Lauryn Hill should not be higher than Thriller. I'm telling you like this. Miseducation, Lauryn Hill is a great album. Damn near perfect album. A lot of people would say it's a perfect album. No skips, right? Now,
actually, I did like Good Kid, Mad City better than Pimp a Butterfly. Actually, I do like that selection.
Now, the Miseducation, Lauryn Hill.
You don't think it's better than Thriller?
Has not done the numbers that Thriller has done. Has not had the longevity in terms of replays that Thriller has done. Has not had the impact like Miseducation, Lauryn Hill has had the impact in culture, but it hasn't had the impact in the music realm as Thriller has had.
You might have a point, actually. I'm thinking about it further. Yeah,
it's a great album. It doesn't say it's not a great album. It's a great album, dog.
I can see that argument. I can see that argument for Thriller being in a higher ranking.
Frank Ocean does not belong on this list. Y'all only putting it there because y'all trying to be emo. Y'all trying to be freaking like this, like avant-garde kind of like take. Frank Ocean should not be top 10.
He shouldn't be top 10 for sure.
Okay. Abbey Road should be up there. The Beatles should be there. Yeah. Amy Winehouse does not belong on this. The only reason y'all put Amy Winehouse on there.
You tweaking, bro. Amy Winehouse.
Back in Black top 10 album of all time, Jeff. All time. There's been millions of albums that have come out since, what has this been like? This list goes from like 1980.
Okay, but you got Lemonade at number 10. You think Lemonade should be at number 10?
Yes. Lemonade.
You think Lemonade should be in the top 10?
Lemonade should be top 10. And it's not 10.
And it's
not 10. Lemonade should be top 10 and it's not.
Lemonade shouldn't even be in the top 10.
10. It's that good of an album. I'm glad they didn't put any of the other Beyonce albums that put it up there.
They need to swap Lemonade and Blueprint. I put Blueprint at number 10.
That's another thing, dog. Like, there's no hardcore hip hop. There's no hardcore hip hop. Like, I get Kendrick up there.
And that's what. Like, how do you not have?
There's no.
Like, how do you not have? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you not have the Blueprint in there? Like top 10. How do you not have?
No, dog. You don't have
like I would even like I mean you could even argue a Pac album. You can argue All Eyes on Me in the top 10. If you're gonna put rap,
actually before that, I would probably put Strictly for My Niggas.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like you could put like
before All Eyes on Me. Some people, even though All Eyes on Me should, is it, but that be me being like biased kind of thing.
Yeah,
bro. This list is, I think, just developed for the argument. I think it's just developed for the argument. They did a thing. They did for argument. Right. The Lauryn Hill, Miseducation, Lauryn Hill, like it was
at number 1. Yeah,
number 1 over Thriller. Stop. Stop. Y'all doing a thing. I see y'all. I don't know what it is. Y'all doing a thing. Y'all doing a thing. No. Okay. So Apple Music, whatever. You got your conversation. You got into the blogs. You got into the zeitgeist for a minute. So whatever. People come out with this all the goddamn time. So
people gonna be feeling about Purple Rain being behind Lauryn Hill joint. I ain't gonna lie. People gonna be mad about Purple Rain.
But see, here's the thing. I can see Purple Rain being there objectively. Mm-hmm. For the same kind of reason Frank Ocean is there. But whatever itch you're trying to scratch with putting Frank Ocean there, Prince satisfied that itch with Purple Rain. So get Frank Ocean up out
it's
of
like
there.
putting the two of the same type.
Stop
Okay,
it.
I see.
Stop it. Stop it. You already did the thing where Prince is there, you know, and if you're gonna let Lauryn Hill be above that, okay, but at least put Prince on with the Purple Rain, because that was the thing with Lemonade also with the Purple. Remember, these were visual products. Remember the visual album included with the music that I talked about, that like they put a whole artwork together. They put a whole artwork piece together. So that's why that belongs there. So get Frank Ocean don't belong there. They just want to be nuanced, man. Act like they freaking knows culture or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, Frank Ocean is so niche.
Like you can
He's
have
so
Purple
niche,
Rain
dog.
in there, but Frank Ocean, nah, bro.
And y'all only put Amy Winehouse there because she's dead. R.I.P. R.I.P.
Amy Winehouse was a problem though, bro.
R.I.P. But y'all only put that album there, Back to Black, is because she's dead.
That's crazy.
She was nice with it.
She was a phenomenal artist, bro.
She was nice with it. But she really just remade 1950s, 1950s songs. Like she really just.
I mean, but music is circular that way though.
It's circular that way, dog. But
Bruno Mars was born in the wrong generation.
Like, granted, but he has some original hits that are like that changed. It's kind of like we talk about like the neo jazz with what Willow is doing, right? Bruno Mars has done a lot of like things that may be considered covers, but like he has a lot of original music that's like, oh, this is new disco pop funk kind of thing. You know what I mean? This is neo funk or neo disco. Amy Winehouse was just really just like repackaging an old product, and we missed it. We missed that old product, so we're like, you know what? And then she died on top of it, so it's like, yo, we gotta give her a slot, right? So shout out to the Amy Winehouse estate. You know what I mean? That's not being able. They're not. People are not restreaming the stuff, and they make and they make it. Her music was great and everything, but like, might as well go ahead and put Michael Bublé up here, dog. I'm just.
Nah, chill, man. Now you gotta chill.
Moving on to our first, full length album that we're reviewing. Not reviewing necessarily. I won't even say review anymore, because like we have so many albums that like, because we take such these time between episodes, that I can't have a full review of some of these albums. But here are some that we were rocking out to, vibing out to. First up is Mach-Hommy. Rich Ass Haitian, as is spelled AXX. You know what I mean? This is his first solo venture in about 3 years, since his last critically acclaimed Pray for Haiti dropped in 2021. And again, shout out to Griselda, because this is like West Side Gun, Conway, and Conway and Mach-Hommy are founders of, these are founders of Griselda in 2012. You know what I mean? Like, so like, I love the fact that they curate. These are curators.
Benny Butcher wasn't one of the. He was one of. Did he just join after?
He joined after. I think he might be like maybe they all might have. There's a collective, you know what I mean? And I think they all might be like part owner of it all. But in terms of like the original, I mean, West Side Gun is really what's usually identified as the founder, right?
Okay.
It's the founder, but I don't know how they talk about it when they talk about it, like, in terms of like putting it all together at jump. But like, Mach-Hommy is one of these dudes. He's from Jersey, but he's Haitian, and his family from Haiti, from Port-au-Prince, moved to. Did they move to Canada? I don't know if I saw this somewhere. They may have, and then moved to like New Orleans, something like that. And anyway, he's generally from Jersey, and linked up with these dudes from New York, and he put out this latest project. And the thing about him is, so we post every time we post these the different artists. We post something about them during the Saturday Vibes, and part of what we post is the lyrics. This dude is like an enigma wrapped in a puzzle, all inside of a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, apparently he
wears a mask all the time.
He's like the guy from from that movie V from Vendetta. You don't know.
Yeah.
He's like a phantom. He's like
he's like a phantom, you know what I mean? He like
just,
to the point where like it's ambiguous enough to like you can't even know his lyrics. Like he takes it all down. Like if you go anywhere you search, you can scour the internet, you won't find his lyrics. What you will find is maybe you find some blogs or some like Reddit posts where people are discussing what they think the lyrics are.
mm-hmm.
And this is all it's a whole subculture with this dude just to figure out like the stuff he's talking about. Like the thing is, like you'll hear it because he's not like rapping like Twista, or he's not like a moment rapper or something like that. But he is so nuanced with what he's talking about. And he's talking about history from like 200 years ago in some of his stuff. He's talking about all kinds of like nefarious thing that's going on currently in politics and in subject matters that you may like, wait, is that a conspiracy theory or is that a legit thing? Do I need to look this up? Dog, he got you doing research, dog, bar after bar after bar to figure out some of the stuff. But like the songs slap, the beats go, and the stuff that you do catch up on, it's like, oh snap. It's mind blowing, you know, and he's got flow. And the best part for me is that he's Haitian and like he's like the Sergio of rap. Remember Sergio, that comedian?
Yeah.
Where he was like, pronounce your name how you pronounce it in Creole. Don't be switching it up to make this English, Anglophile version of your name, because you have to make you fais blanc ranger bec yo pio prononcer the name the way that you supposed to pronounce it. Your name is Jean, it ain't Jean. You know what I mean? And so Mach-Hommy is like he effortlessly goes into Creole, goes into French in his rap, and he don't never explain it. You know how he'll never explain it. He'd be like, okay, instead of saying it's like, like I was listening to another track from somebody else the other day, and he was like, he's like, if that, he's like, I always take bread over beef. I'm on that pate, right? And so like, you can kind of figure that out. He's talking about a patty.
Oh my God, he's talking about
you know what I mean, and bread
over the. Oh my
God. And a beef is
that's a bar
inside of a patty.
Yeah.
Right. I'm on that pate. And so
that's
like,
a quick bar.
It's a bar, but he kind of explains it. And if you like listen over it, like, oh, okay, that's clever. You know what I mean? He said something else. He said, I'm a vacabo, so you know I got hoes.
Oh my God!
You know
and as Haitians, like it hit different because you understand like
different.
What he said, what he say that
right, but like he kind of explain it. You know what I mean? So vagabond, you could kind of figure out vagabond. This sounds like a vagabond, you know, or a bad guy, or you know, he's a bastard. So, but like, not Mach-Hommy. You ain't gonna like, bro. He be saying some stuff in Creole straight up, like you get it. You know what I mean? If you know English and Creole, you can figure it out. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know how he got such a hardcore following in America like that, but like, cause like
he has a cult following apparently.
He has a cult following, but a lot of his stuff he's kind of like he reminds me of like Jay Electronica. Not that he raps like him, but like people be like really on pins and needles waiting for Jay to drop something, you know, because he's gonna drop something that's deep, that's like philosophical, that's real like spiritual, and there's like a lot of messaging in it, you know what I mean, empowering and stuff like that too. But it's like, you may call it conscious rap, but how y'all don't understand half of the stuff he's saying? Like you don't know the lyrics in English, and you don't even know the stuff he's talking about in Creole.
Yeah.
So I don't know how he got, but like he's in with Jay-Z. He had he's in with Griselda. I don't know how Griselda found him, but shout out to Griselda for knowing talent. Yeah, bro, Griselda, they be curating their joint. They know talent, and then they had a distribution deal. I think Griselda did with Shady Records at one point, and then that fell off. And then now I think they now with under management with Rock Nation. You know, so he's he's got meet and greets and all that kind of stuff. He's works with Jay-Z, and everything. They got photos with him. So like and Jay-Z was already into like some Haitian art and stuff like that with Basquiat and stuff like that. So and in New York, it has a heavy Haitian diaspora and Haitian presence, even all the way up to Boston apparently. So
Boston,
the whole Northeast has a lot of. Well, I mean,
whole
actually,
Northeast.
I could see Boston because a lot of Haitians do go to Canada because of the French connection. And so Boston being that close, whatever, what I mean? So that could be what the deal is in terms of transition. But
I'm still trying to figure out why there's Haitians in Washington, like the state of Washington.
All on the West Coast?
All on the West Coast. There's like a Haitian, there's a Haitian community
over there. I don't know.
In the state of Washington is wild, but anyways.
Yeah, it's wild up there, and so it's going to. But like his album is great. Oh, and there's my favorite track on that joint is the title track, Rich Ass Haitian, K-Tronada. K-Tronada, man, he's this musician, producer. He has his own albums and all. Like K-Tronada is such a great musician in our times. Like we need to like cherish some of these people. Like this is like a living legend. Like he I don't know if he knows it yet, but like
probably not.
Like we have some artists amongst us that are like they're composers, son, that are putting together great music. And the best song I think on this joint is the one by K-Tronada. I was reading some stuff about him and in an interview, and he's like he needs his flowers now. He's like he's feeling low in his confidence a little bit. And he's admitting it, he's admitting it. So that he's feeling low, kind of, we talked about a little bit this ourselves, some anxiety about our work and our careers. And I'm like, this dude has been producing and working and composing for many years now, and I want him to keep doing his thing, and he's eventually going to get the recognition as being one of the greats that does it. And I'm gonna just leave that there. Keeping it Haitian, another album, Creole and 808s. Slesh is the artist. This was an album actually from last year. I just ran it back. I kind of got back on it because Haitian Flag Day. Haitian Flag Day, we just had that. Shout out to everybody who celebrates out there. I was wearing my shirt and everything during that day. I was just walking around somewhere, and this lady on the drive, she stopped in traffic like, "Hey, I'm Haitian too. So representation. I had my headphones on because I'm always out and about with my headphones on. And I was like, wait, I took my stuff, and I'm like, I took my headphones, and she's like, "Oh, Haitian." I was like, "Oh, hey, happy Haitian Flag Day." She was ecstatic. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Yo, represent, man, because like back in. There was a time where Haitians was not representing loud and proud.
Yeah.
It was not representing loud and proud. And so Slesh is doing his thing. Like the song, like the title goes, Creole and 808s. It's Haitian music on some Kanye type beats, type of joint. You know what I mean? It goes hard. It's straight up rap. A lot of the Haitian music now they venture into, like we talk about the Afro-Caribbean pop kind of thing. This is rap. Right, this is Haitian rap, and it might be like Kanye-esque, Drake-esque, kind of like vibes. So, just as I mentioned before, where Afro beats has this renaissance that's happening right now, and you don't understand half of the stuff they saying. Remember I said before, it don't matter. You don't have to understand half of the stuff they talk about in Creole and 808s. If it slaps, people will listen.
They're gonna vibe regardless.
People gonna listen because we vibing to the Amapiano. You know what I mean? We vibing to the Afrobeat, right?
Absolutely.
We vibing to all of that. Freaking Ira Star is another album that I was really rocking heavy that we'll probably talk about next week. You know what I mean? And last year we talked about Tiwa Savage album. You know what I mean? And so I don't understand having something to talk about. Gary, I had to look up what Gary was. You know what I mean? Full disclosure.
Oh, yeah.
Full disclosure. You know what I mean? That's not something that I typically consume. You know, and so yo, this song goes, and it's like, and you get to discover a little bit about the culture. So, shout out to Slesh, and that album still goes hard, and so people should check it out.
What up, fam? It's Darwin, the guy that was just talking. First off, thanks for watching and supporting the show. But I got to give y'all some homework. Your challenge, if you choose to accept it, is to interact with the show. That means 1, hitting that like button because I know you like our stuff. 2, make sure you subscribe so we can swim our way up your timeline whenever we drop new content. The third thing, please share the channel with your friends. Maybe they'll learn a thing about a thing or two. Oh, last thing, we're over here talking about what y'all talking about. So go ahead and carry that conversation on into the comments. We be up in there too.
Guess what? The next one up, Vince Staples, Dark Times. Yeah, we still keeping it Haitian. You ain't know that about Vince Staples. He's of Haitian lineage.
He look Haitian.
Oh, man, what does that mean? I guess he kind of looks.
He look. His facial features. If you look at him, you kind of like, yeah. So, Loki. Every time I saw him in my head, I was like, bro, he look Haitian. Like, it was always a thought. So when you said it, I was like, yeah.
So he's not a rapper that you typically go to for like lyrical acrobats or these heavy hitting bars. But he gives you bars in a different way. He doesn't give you like that lyrical acrobatics kind of thing. But he be talking about some stuff.
Yeah.
He be talking about some stuff. And the thing is, like, a lot of the stuff he talks about is really just like how he grew up and like where he came from and his progress through life. And like a lot of rappers rap about that stuff, but it don't hit the same. It don't hit the same. He has a sort of delivery that's kind of like matter of fact kind of thing. Where it's like it's story time with Vince Staples. Let me tell you a tale, and I'm gonna keep my same volume like this. And you at the end of the story, you're finna be like, son. And he's like, yeah, man, that's my life, kind of thing, right? He jumps between a straightforward recounting of gang related violence and bits of dry humor, because that's his personality. Like, I love that one song back in the day. We had, like, there was this one lady that did like this white lady that did like a video about it on YouTube. She's like, it's about like Northside Long Beach. That was that song, right? And he was like talking about paying for abortions or something like that. It's just like, oh my God, this lady was going crazy, right? She was like some Christian mom, whatever, right?
So let's just encourage kids to run from the police, because that's okay, right? We wonder why this society is so messed up. Listen to the music. Hit the corner, make a dollar flip, and split the dollars with my mama children. Folks need Porsches, hoes need abortions. I'm sorry. I just need y'all out my business. Never no problem playing no pitches. Never no problem spraying no witnesses.
Yeah.
He's just talking, but like he made it like a fun little song and I ain't never get scared for the police or whatever. I remember how that song goes, but that was a bop back in the day, right? And so in this album, he still talks about plenty of trauma, you know what I mean? But the difference is that it more directly inserts into his present life. So a lot of his stuff was about his past life and like going through schooling system and like being in gang life. Whereas this album is more like his present life reflecting on his past life. Kind of thing. So it's a more mature kind of observation that he explores here.
Yeah.
I want to, as another random honorable mention, he's got a TV show. He's got a TV show on Netflix.
Isn't it like 6 episodes or something like that? It's like a
yeah. And he pretty much goes through. It's kind of like
and it's kind of
like Atlanta, like that TV show Atlanta with Childish Gambino.
Yeah. So basically, the show is even in the show, like the premise of the show is him like he's like semi-famous in the show, but he's going about like you were mentioning about like his life. It's like basically like you're seeing like inside of his life, but like in a more comedic kind of way where people are like they know that he's famous, but at the same time they kind of don't care. So and he kind of feels some kind of way about it, but like he's just kind of going through. So that's a lot of what the series is about. So I've heard it. And the only reason I know about it is because I heard him talking about it like some time ago when he was first promoting it. So I haven't had the chance to actually watch it. I do want to
I
watch it.
watched the first
Um,
episode and I'm like,
yeah.
this is so. I'm like, this is so Vince Staples.
Yeah, yeah,
This is,
it's really him. And like
it's
the whole
really
the project,
him.
like he actually produced it. Like he's actually the producer of the
Yeah.
show. So
And,
like, yeah,
and he's not acting like somebody or a character or something like that. He's
yeah,
just like, no, I'm just gonna like he's like, remember I told you before, he's a storyteller that'll tell you a story.
he's funny too
song,
though.
and he'll tell you like this, and he'll keep the
Yeah.
funny bits to it like
Yeah.
that too. And at
Yeah.
the end of that story, you're gonna be like, yo, what did you just say? Kind of
Yeah.
thing. And so this kind of how the show is. And like you watch the
Yeah.
show, you at the end, I watched that first episode and I was like, oh my God. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Like that happened. That happened to this dude. And this is like, he's like, yo,
But
because my life.
he's creative, bro. Like he's an artist. Like he's
Yeah,
creative,
he's an
bro.
artist. He's an artist. Like my life is
Yeah.
like this. That was, I'm reading up
Yeah.
something here. And it was saying about the gang stuff. Okay, so Vince has always been very clear that he doesn't see that as something to be exploited and served as entertainment because it is real life and people do get hurt by it.
Yeah.
And white people treat it like a fucking zoo exhibit. Still, he taps into the absurd nature of gang culture and concepts such as beef and territory disputes. Yeah, this is freaking absurd because you don't even own the house that you live in down there. You pay you rent, and then like you like, oh, this is my hood, so you know. So, and I say more absurdism that surrealism becomes they're different things. So this is like either absurdism, surrealism, but like it's actually real life. So that's the Vince Staples album, Dark Times. I think the album actually like is a good like side dish to
The actual show.
the show. So
okay.
like definitely put those two things on loop. The other one that was rocking out too is Atavista by Childish Gambino. Now I was surprised. So I'm like, what is this? So this comes across the timeline. It was actually first released with no notice, no promotion, the cover art or even song titles into a dark world 4 years ago in the early days of the pandemic. Originally named on the date of this release, it was named 3/15/20, the Ides of March. I think isn't that our pop's birthday? 3/15? I think that's our pop's birthday. 3/15.
Yeah.
Or 3/16 was his birthday.
It's March 16th. It's March 16th.
Right. The Ides of March. I always remembered it because of that.
Mm-hmm.
The album overall is a good listen. But I felt like I was faked out. Okay. Don't get me wrong. I really was devastated when I heard him say or allude to that he was retiring, he wasn't making music anymore. So like this came out, and especially after he had that the last album, what was it called? Good Night, My Sweet, or like what was the last album called? I forgot.
Should be in his discography.
Awaken My Love. Awaken My Love. That's the one. Awaken My Love.
Okay.
Awaken My Love had that one track on that I was talking about.
Okay,
So
okay,
Awaken My Love, and that album was so good. But granted, again, this was kind of like a little bit of the effect of remaking an old style of music, a lot of it, because a lot of it like took off from like Parliament Funkadelics, a lot of like Bee Gees maybe kind of sound, a lot of the funk disco stuff from that, which was heavy in the album, but it was still original take, a new take on it, not original, but a new take on it. So it was like a neo kind of vibe. But that was 2016. And so anyways, like I said, I was like, when I heard that, and I was like, oh man, we're gonna get in. But like I was been part of, oh man, I was been on to Childish Gambino since like the backpack days and campfire days and all those kind of joints, but this album came out. It's a good listen. One of the best tracks on there is Littlefoot, Bigfoot. It showboats in an earworm flow that is paired with a masterfully full. There's a nutty verse on there. the song is talking about all kinds of traumatic stuff, you know,
Yeah.
from like abuse to absent fathers and stuff, and drug dealing. But it's got this beat that you gotta kind of dance to, right? It's like what is it's like I love those the dichotomy that happens in some songs like that, you know.
I know exactly like This Is America, like how that's set up.
Yeah, like this is just like this,
Yeah.
but this is his vibe.
Yeah.
This is his lane. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So exactly, perfect example of that. You know,
Mhm.
in any form, this album is. It could be considered. It could be considered one of his best. I mean, I really like that "Awaken My Love" album, but like in terms of like original work, like that's not really derivative of other stuff.
Mhm.
This is one of his best, but he doesn't rap as much on this album.
Okay.
It's a lot more singing, it's a lot more melodic. It's a great album, but you know, it's a weird space. I don't even know if it would be considered for anything in terms of awards this year because it's kind of like a re-release, you know.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I don't know if it's really considered a new album per se, but it was a new one from my timeline. Um, if this is the final, if he had, okay, you know, I just need to put a bow on this thing and make it my last album. I know there's this whole, you know, Bando Stone in the New World um project potentially. Who knows if that comes out the way that this one kind of didn't come out,
Yeah.
but it did come out kind of thing. Who
Yeah.
knows? So I don't know what he's doing. He's got a lot of irons in the fire, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Movies we're talking about. He's producing and also starring and playing. Like he was Lando in freaking Star Wars, and
Mhm.
he's got that TV show. I mean, he's got a lot of things going on. So who knows where music is prioritizing, but who prioritizing on his list. But if Atavista is his last salvo, it's a good one to go out on. You know what I mean? It's a good one to go out on. Fine. You know what I mean? This is a good album enough to do that. All right. Last album up is Rhapsody. I meant to put a pin in this earlier because I was going to mention this earlier, but I'm thinking of Lauryn Hill. Remind me of Lauryn Hill. All right. This album is called Please Don't Cry. This is the North Carolina rapper's fourth album. It clarifies her identity and the depth of her talent over lush blends of R&B, gospel, reggae, and some trap music. Rhapsody, it's one of these artists that's going to be like I don't know if it's inevitable for her, but like she is perpetually underrated and never really identified
Heard
when
that
you talk
before.
when you start listing rappers,
Mhm.
just rappers. She even says it herself. She's like, if I had a dick, I'd be top 5 on everybody's list. But I'm a woman. I'm not only am I a woman, I'm not selling sex.
Mhm.
I'm not sex first.
That too.
Like leaning into like beating
That part.
and I always talk about this.
Yeah.
Just being naked on your album cover,
Mhm.
but then your album is trash. You know what I mean? But you know you're gonna sell a bunch of numbers because you're naked on your album cover.
Mhm.
Every music video you put out, you're half naked on there. It's like
Yeah.
I don't, you know, I'm sex positive as anybody, as anybody out there, right?
Okay.
But I'm not coming to music for the sex genre. Like yeah, there's baby making music and all that kind of stuff. I enjoy that genre and all, but like you're just visually showing us sex, and that's what's carrying your career. It's not the music. You're never gonna be top 10 on Apple's list by just selling sex. Amy Winehouse wasn't sex first.
Yeah, she wasn't, no.
And this is me arguing for their point, you know? So stop it. Lauryn Hill, definitely. Okay, fuck. You know what? I'll get into Lauryn Hill right now then. Lauryn Hill definitely was not selling sex first. Look at me. I'm naked on my album cover and I'm on my visuals. Look at my ass and tits. Don't worry about my lyrics. Don't worry about my composition. Don't worry about my the beat selection.
Mhm.
No. Lauryn Hill would pay attention to the artistry of it, the composerness of it.
Yep.
So here's why I want to bring up Lauryn Hill on when I bring up Rhapsody. Not to compare. I'm kind of comparing, I guess. But I'm not. But like the thing is, like people are waiting for another Lauryn Hill album. People have been waiting for a long time. It may never come. Maybe it will. Maybe now that she's having a resurgence, she's got several shows that that people are losing their jobs over because they're waiting for her to come out on stage. We had the whole thing where she had the excuse me, where she had the whole speech that went viral, where she was like, nobody asked me to make another one. Why didn't what I mean? I've been surviving off this one album and doing tours around the world and all stuff, and people were praising her and all that stuff for that. I think we even posted it at one point. And so if she comes out with another album, who knows? But whatever it is that you felt, that you got, that feel that little space in your heart for like, yo, this is what I wanted. Foxy Brown was dope, cool. Lil Kim, I got my thing. Eve gave me that little bit, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, all right. But there's this special little space, shape, like Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, in my heart, in my essence, in my, being. Rap, go listen to some Rapsody, yo. Go listen. She did that for y'all. And y'all, and people just ain't been putting her up on the pedestal like she has long since deserved. This is Rapsody's album, Please Don't Cry, is one of my favorite albums that I've listened to this year. Now,
interesting.
Now, there has been a lot of good rap this year so far, dog. It was like, I started to think about this and I was like, oh, this is why I said it that way. I didn't say it was my favorite. I said, this has been one of my favorites because I'm like, yo, I was like, where do I put this? Okay. Schoolboy Q. Vultures. Yes, that Kanye freaking album. It was good. I can't deny it. That Vultures album was good. Conway's album. Slant Face, freaking Mach-Hommy, right? We just talked about that one. And Rapsody. I don't know where, like, all these albums, these that I just listed there. I was thinking about the Vince Staples project. I wouldn't put it top 5. It's a really good album. I wouldn't put it top 5. There's been some other stuff I've listened to. I mean, the Future album has been doing numbers, crazy numbers, especially because the Rap Beef that ended up stemming from that is doing numbers. But like, it ain't just off numbers alone. Quality music. Dang, dog. Freaking there's several other albums that came out this year that was really good. But I don't know where to rank these albums. But I'm gonna tell you this: Rapsody's album, I think will be nominated. I think it will be nominated. It's gonna be nominated for rap album. It's gonna be nominated for rap album. I don't know which one of these could be nominated for best album. I mean, it's hard for a rap album to be nominated best album.
That's right.
So we'll see, but yo, we got some fire music that came out these past couple of weeks. The rap category is stacked this year. It is stacked. That's the one to look out for. I couldn't even give you whoever the front runners. I think gun to my head, I couldn't, like, and you had me strapped to a lie detector test. I wouldn't be able to tell you which album is better than this Rapsody album. And I wouldn't be able to say Rapsody's album is better than Conway's or Schoolboy Q's album. Like, I could not pick one as the best album this year. This has been a good year so far for hip hop. And there's a lot of other names I haven't mentioned. Not a lot, but there's like maybe like 3 or 4 other albums that I haven't mentioned in this top 5 that are outside looking in, that there could be a case made for that joint. You know what I mean? Ghostface dropped the album too this year. So that was just like last week too. Wow. There's a lot to chew on. So throw your headphones on, turn the volume up, go on these people's Insta and tell them Challenge Day sent you. And them's the vibes.